Here recently, Dollywood has finally announced their newest coaster coming, called Nightflight Expedition. This is all coming after months of speculation and construction, and it turns out to be a Mock Rides rocking boat coaster. Today, I will provide my thoughts on this addition and how it fits into the park as a whole. One of my first thoughts when I initially saw the announcement video is that this ride looks like it's going to be pretty impressive. It's been said it's going to cost $50 million, which gives them a ton of money to play with, and clearly none of it's going to be wasted during the construction. As for the ride type itself, while I do hope it has a few bigger drops, it wouldn't surprise me and it wouldn't disappoint me if it didn't. And this ride looks like it could be, and probably will be, the most dynamic attraction at Dollywood, even ahead of Fire Chaser Express. But watching the Mock Rides video on the rocking boat coaster, one of my first concerns comes up, and that's capacity. The boats look like they'll only be able to hold 7 or 8 people. Combine that with a 5-minute ride experience, and that could lead to some insane lines. These lines could get especially bad in the summer when people look to cool off, or the winter when almost nothing else is open other than something like Blazing Fury. But on the topic of cooling off, I feel this is a good addition in the sense that Dollywood doesn't have any other major water rides other than the log flume and the river rapids, so this will be great to cool off in the summer. And since a pretty large number of guests don't ever go to Splash Country during their visit, this will be one of the few water rides that they can ride while in the main park. But unfortunately, I do think this could make lines longer. Combining this with the already low capacity could be a disaster, but I do think there is a way they could potentially fix this. I think two of the potential easiest solutions are a dual-sided locker system or a bin conveyor belt system that'll take your loose articles to the other side for you while you ride. Not only would these options be free, which would make guests be a lot happier, I also think that it would speed up operations since people wouldn't have to fool around with their loose articles. If they did have people pay for lockers, while it would make them more money, it would A, make the wait more boring and make people not want to ride their new $50 million ride, and two, it would make people who don't want to pay for the lockers less happy because they can't ride it. However, if they went with bins, the only upside is that it's free. The downsides are that people can steal loose articles, it would slow down operations, and they'd have to run less trains or else they'd run out of bin space. But now, enough with operations, and let's get to the ride itself and how I think the experience will play out. I feel like this ride's going to be mostly about the theming, with a few aspects that are thrilling for all ages. This ride system is capable of short backwards moments related to theming, rocking back and forth, and sharp turns, which I think will be the main thrilling elements of this. I've also seen many Dollywood fans wanting some sort of dark ride in the park, and while this isn't fully a dark ride, it's classified as a hybrid coaster. I think it's going to be similar enough to a dark ride to please those people. I wouldn't even be surprised if one of the main four parts of the ride they're advertising in their trailer is a main dark ride part. As for the trenches they dug out early in construction, it wouldn't surprise me if it's either a water system for the ride, or B, if it's actually a drop. And as for the Hidden Hollow aviation banners put up on the structure during construction, I think that could play into the theme. I feel like the theme is going to be something along the lines of a company called Hidden Hollow Aviation is going to take you through a nighttime adventure through the woods, through Hidden Hollow, and through Wildwood Grove as a whole. I feel like some of the challenges in the theme are going to be going through rivers, getting chased by things, and going through drops, and it could even tie in Big Bear. I'm also hoping the ride will contain a good mix of screens, animatronics, and still props. But now, it's time for my thoughts on the edition and how I think it'll be as a coaster. As much as I would have liked for Dollywood's next major coaster to be a thrill coaster, or for them to add something like a B&M Giga, I'm still really happy with this edition since it rounds out their lineup really nicely. I'm thinking the ride itself is just going to be an okay coaster on its own, but the theming's really going to elevate this to be one of the best family coasters in the world. And even though Dollywood already has lots of gimmicky and unique family coasters, this will really add something that wasn't there before. The only other family coaster, or really any coaster in the park in general, that has animatronics is Blazing Fury, but that's more of a timeless classic. This will contrast that really greatly, adding newer technology and water into the mix. I also think this will be on a level similar to Blazing Fury for kids working their way up to the bigger rides, since Big Bear or Dragonflyer might be too intense or too big for them. And one final note, I was looking on Dollywood's website and it provides some information on the ride. It talks about soaring over the Smokies, plunging into whitewater rapids, climbing a mountainside, and navigating a mysterious lake. These will all be parts of the theme. On the screen, I'll put up the backstory of the ride that's posted on Dollywood's website. You can pause to take a moment to read it if you'd like, or you could click on the Dollywood website link in the description. I'll also put up a screenshot of Dollywood's official stats for the ride. You can pause them and read them if you'd like. That's it for today's analysis. If you want construction updates, stay tuned for more content. If you like foreign theme parks, then feel free to watch my Happy Valley review in the top right corner. If you like this analysis, feel free to like, share, and or subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.